So, since we're going a little slow with this, already I'm looking at the tower and thinking there's going to be a ton of changes here. And already when we saw when the cards fell out, where it's the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Swords, I know there were other ones that came out. I don't remember the other ones, but I do remember those two, and those two talk about changes anyway. Six of Swords is a transition; it moves from one space to the next. Leaving something behind, getting over something, mourning. And at the same time, you have the Wheel of Fortune. A new opportunity has come. A new, something, a door is opened, right? So things are changing in your life right now for the better, for the greatness, right? But the Tower really just exposes what's not stable, what's faulty, what foundations need work or haven't been worked on in time, and now just need to be scrapped and start over. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, expressing your love and taking that trip or whatever it is that you guys are doing, whether this is a staycation, an actual vacation, or this is about you going out of your way to express yourself in some way, this is going to open the door to a new start, I believe. Like, there's some action being taken rather than action happening or things happening where it's prompting you to act, okay? So, going into this, we're going to start over here on this side here, but this is a tarot reading on YouTube, so feel free to, pick the side that resonates with you, okay? And also, please remember that these readings may not resonate with everybody, and that's totally fine. I don't know if I said that earlier, but if I did, well, ain't nothing wrong with making sure you said it twice. Now, person number one here with the Strength card at the very top is telling us that this relationship is definitely pulling on their heartstrings, or at least their passion strings. I think this person feels kind of held back, okay? Or they not necessarily held back by anybody else but themselves, because the Strength card, it's talking about, the woman taming the lion, right? And the lion isn't tamed by the woman. The woman goes in, of course, shows a side of herself that's calm, and the beast mirrors that, right? Because think about it. If the lion didn't want to chill the fuck out, the lion would have eaten the woman already. The lion would have just ate her up, had her with a side of salad, all right, with a little bit of dressing, a little bit of ranch. You know what I mean? He would have had her for breakfast. But it's not, the strength isn't necessarily from the woman, right? The woman has her own strengths there too, right? She had to be brave. She had to realize that only the animal only attack her if she saw him as superior or feared him. But the lion is the one that has the most strength, because he took everything in his natural nature to keep himself from biting the person. But I think that's the thing, right? A lot of you guys, or whoever this person is, has been biting back a lot of their little, their tendencies, their natural tendencies, the passion, the excitement, the lust that comes with the Strength card. There's been a lot of biting back. And even though this relationship is definitely called for them to be controlled and be tamed, this is now talking about expression, right? This is talking about coming from the heart. This is about talking about, being real with the person that you're with as well as yourself. And right now, this person is holding back. And it's not because of the relationship. It's due to a practice, and it's now about allowing themselves to purge, be the animalistic portion of themselves. As human beings, we have animal sides of ourselves. We are animals. We are mammals, for crying out loud, right? So we have that fiery passion that I think this person here is learning to become more and more okay with, and letting it purge out, letting it, come out, okay? Because I think this person's had it under wraps. But at the same time, I feel like this person, for this relationship, has kept it buttoned up, and now they're looking to express that. They're having a hard time expressing it, but they're looking to express it. And at the same time, I kind of feel like this person may have entered this relationship already repressed, and they're ready to finally let their animalistic side come out, let their true nature, their natural instincts come through. Now, that being said, though, this other person here with the mental plane has the Page of Cups. So they're already willing to express their heart, but they're doing it in small steps. They want to see where it goes. They want to take a step in the direction where their heart is definitely vulnerable, but they want to see how it will be translated in this relationship from the other person. I feel like this person also sees this as puppy love. They're falling in love again. Like, this person is falling all oh my gosh, I can't say it. They're falling in love all over again. There we go. And I'm saying that because of the Tower. So this is their opportunity to completely let their heart open, and they're opening it very small, right? But this is saying this as puppy love. They're expressing their heart. They're coming from an emotional place. They're allowing themselves to be vulnerable, but they're also taking a look at what their heart's desire is. As they're doing this, they're healing things, as well as they are what is the words I'm looking for? Um, as well as healing themselves, they're also figuring out what they want in the relationship as well. They're trying to help, they're trying to, they're developing their own heart's desire as they're being emotionally open. You get what I'm saying? So, and how they're doing this and what they're doing this, and what they're showing to you, as well as the Three of Cups. They may be in a very platonic place at this moment. They may, treat you as a friend or as a good buddy, but the person is honestly opening their door up to love. So even though they may be very platonic in the way they're acting, they're honestly trying to open themselves up to love. And how they do that is through friendships. Again, you know what? You may be dealing with an Aquarius because of this, but it doesn't have to be. But shit. Sagittarius could be the same very way, right? They're not necessarily overly romantic or anything like that. It's showing trust through friendships. And I think they're enjoying the connection with you. They're having a good time. They're mingling. They're celebrating their life. And it's good because they're also being, they're able to open themselves up to new possibilities, open themselves up to love, period. And I feel like that's what this person is doing. And this person as well is doing the same thing, I feel like, because the Ten of Cups is about having, it's also completing an emotional cycle, but it's also a happy ending, right? It's a very happily ever after. And the reason why it's a happily ever after card is because you found happiness and you have found people that can share in that happiness with you. So with the Strength card, you had to remain strong, or whoever this is, this person had to remain strong, had to do what they need to do to get by. And now they're really learning to just relax. There's no need to have it all tensed up. And the reason why this person is showing that they're surrounded by people that support them and love them, they're able to be happy with the people that are around them. The reason why they are feeling a little slightly restricted is because of the Eight of Swords. Then, like I said, it's not the person's fault. It's not the other person's fault either. The circumstances required them to be tough. They needed to be strong. They needed to tame their energy. They needed to bite back a lot of their natural tendencies to get through a difficult situation. But now, since they have been, they've been in a difficult situation, it seems like for a long time, they got the Eight of Swords coming up here telling us that this person is stuck in this mindset. This person is stuck in this way of thinking. This person is feeling trapped in their mind and keeping them from being able to do that. And I think they realize that their mind has created this kind of cage, not to necessarily prevent them from doing anything, but to protect themselves from doing stuff. Because this is I feel like the Eight of Swords is giving me more of protection vibes. And it's because if they did stuff that was reactionary, that was totally solely based off of how they felt and their natural instincts, I think they were told that this would never bring them happiness. It would never bring them freedom. It would make them even feel more alone and isolated. And I think that kind of mentality is what they are recognizing, which is why they have the Ten of Cups in their present, or in their body, because they're trying to end that cycle of holding back and opening themselves up. They're trying to open the door. They realize that they're in a cage now, and they're taking the steps forward despite feeling like there's swords right in front of their neck, if you see it. Like, this person is afraid to move because they just feel like the swords are around their neck. And this person has to realize that the swords are nothing but your thoughts. And those thoughts are not going to kill you. Those thoughts are not going to keep you from doing anything. They're not going to jeopardize. And if you do, and if anything does happen because you come outside of, not a comfort zone, but if you start to become yourself, it's not going to be greeted with disdain. It's going to be greeted with love and compassion, like the Ten of Cups is showing here. You have family and friends around you that support you and love you. And I think this person here just needs to remember that and keep pushing forward in regards to allowing themselves to be who they want to be. Now, what brought you two together was a new adventure, a new beginning, a fresh start, okay? Like I said, what brought you together was a brand new journey. And along that journey, you guys definitely got hit with a tower, because I think when you guys went on this journey, you guys were not aware of the things that you guys had at the time that would that could stabilize your relationship. And of course, this process you guys went through with the Fool did open your eyes to to all the things that were faulty, all the things that that could have been done better, that could have been done differently, right? That's why the whole Wheel of Fortune Tower and the Six of Swords come in, because you had to go through this Fool journey to know what you needed to make this relationship something strong. And I feel like with this person coming up, with this person, spiritual energy coming up with the Two of the Cups, they do feel a strong connection to you. They do feel like you guys have something in common. This person sees you as their person. But, and I feel like because this is something that they've cherished and they love you, they love you deeply, and I think whatever you guys have been through together that caused the Five of Cups that's in your challenge right now, they still have this connection despite all that. So that's why they're opening up the door. That's why they're taking small steps to repairing the relationship, because they understand that the stuff that they went into with this relationship, they weren't equipped with quite yet. Both of you weren't. And that's okay, because it was bringing you guys together again, whether you guys were separated, because I think at some point you guys did have a severance, whether this being that you guys were still in a relationship, just not really interacting with each other, not communicating, not really connecting with one another, or you guys did break up and you guys got back together. Either one of those, right? There was something that you guys gained from the time away and coming back together. But at the same time, that all in all journey, when you guys started out, you know what you need. You're looking back now, you know what you needed then, which was totally acceptable, because the Fool talks about just taking a chance, taking a leap of faith and going for it. Whatever steps that you take going forward is not a wrong decision, not bad, not nothing, because you're meant to discover. That's the Fool's whole journey, is discovery and understanding. And if you understood everything from the get-go, what would be the point of you being a Taurus? Would you be the point of you being a human being? You'd just be God then, right? But no, that's not our journey in life. We're not supposed to be, we're not the people that are meant to just come on this planet knowing exactly everything that we need to know, because then there would be no journey. But we do have everything that we need. It's discovering what we need and how we need it as we go through. And I think that's what brought you two together. You guys were exploring and knowing what you guys' capabilities were as you guys got together and understood each other's dynamics and relationships. And the challenge is the Five of Cups, because of course, starting out in this relationship, right, there was a lot of things that hurt you, losses, lack of trust, not understanding each other. You guys have this again. You guys have this connection again. But of course, right, with the understanding that the Eight of Swords was here, that you understand why that disconnect was there in the first place. It had always been there. This person right here had this thing where they had to keep themselves, kind of tight. They had to repress their emotions. They had to stay under control. They had to have some sort of control. And it's not because, like I said, it's not because the relationship is mostly to do with how they were upbrought, because of their family. This was why this is a closing of a cycle. But you have to understand that even, throughout this passage, right, this person never really been able to be who they were, which is why there's a lot of losses, a lot of things that happened through this relationship that didn't work out. But it's about what you guys can do now about what you know. Of course, the tower coming down, realizing the faulty foundation, and building on top of, the wreckage, building on top of, your destruction, the debris. Because whatever is gone, whatever the tower hit, it hit. It's done. It's gone. Right? And it's now about figuring out how you can make what you can, or make what you have, something beautiful. Because I think both of you guys do want this. It's just about how you get there. All right, so let's go ahead and see what you guys got for your Whispers of Love. Oh man, one of my candles went out. I'll get it in a second. Alright, and you guys have new love. See what I'm saying? New love. Embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth. And I feel like it is definitely spiritual growth for you. If this is work and this is like a worker, then this, then it works. for the work opportunity thing, but it's also about a new opportunity in love in your relationship, because I think there's a lot of things that you guys are realizing that has, that had kept you guys from being able to be the best that you can be. And now that you know what you need to be, know what you need to have, understand your dynamic between you and this person, and understand what needs to be put into this relationship for it to work, I think you guys have a better opportunity for success. And I'm excited. I'm pumped up for this because everybody deserves a second chance, especially when they've had to overcome some things that was instilled in them for years. And that's the thing. People forget that we grow up, right? We had to go from one stage from our life to the next, right? Being an adult and then, or being a child to being an adult. And we carry a lot of those instilled learnings, good or bad, in the moment, right? Beneficial, empowering, or disempowering, whatever they were, to find our highest potential.